Welcome to likewowtv. It's good to have you on Askia. I just want to clarify something. I remember when I called you and asked you, let's have a sit down. You were a bit reluctant to do it. Why choose to do it now?
I just figured, why not? There's no reason why I shouldn't do it. I have time. I mean, I'm here now, so.
You're here now. I just listened to your latest song, Blessing. It's doing quite well.
Yes.
What can you tell me about the song? What inspired you about that song?
I would say that the three of us really were inspired while working on that song, because it was, Beard Gang had been down for so long, you know. So the song was actually our comeback song. So we put like a lot into it, working as a team, you know. It was supposed to be the song that gets Beard Gang back out there so that we can start working again, working on future projects.
You mentioned that was a song to get Beard Gang back out there. But if I recall very well, you dropped the song and I think a day or two later, you guys all separated from Beard Gang.
We actually separated before I dropped the song.
Okay, so is there a reason why?
Why the separation?
Yes.
Well, I would say that everybody has their own goals now, you know, and you know that the record label is owned by Killer.
Killer, which is your former partner?
Yes. So, I mean, we are taking different paths. We have different plans. And I'm like, okay, so definitely I will not be there forever. So I have my own plans. I had to work out to carry out my plans. I guess the same thing with Free Boy. He has a lot of plans as well. I feel like it's just a thing about growth, you know, and development. It's a thing about progression. If you're in a place where it's stagnant and you know what you bring to the table, of course you are not going to sit back there and just have time pass you by. You will go out there and make other plans for yourself. I think that's just what happened, with me at least.
You seem to have done a lot with Beard Gang music, with the whole label, your husband, Free Boy. You guys had a good thing going, so I'm really surprised that all of a sudden you guys decide to go your own separate ways. Obviously, as you mentioned, it's for growth reasons.
Yes.
And I'm also aware that you took a lot of time off from the music scene when you gave birth to your daughter. Do you think you're ready to go full on the music scene now?
Yes, actually I didn't take no time off after giving birth to Nairobi. I was still in the scene while I was pregnant and nobody knew I was pregnant. So when I gave birth to her, I continued working, definitely. And I only took a short break to focus on her because she wasn't eating very well. Yes.
Obviously, in the last couple of days, your name has been circulating on social media. I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere about your breakup with your husband. Some people think it's just a stage to boost up your new single.
Yeah.
Is that the case?
No, it's not the case.
So what do you have to say about it? Obviously, people want to know if you're being serious, because apparently you've broken up before. This is not the first time.
Yes. First of all, what you need to know is that every time that there's a breakup, he instigates it. And this time I'm just like, okay, maybe finally it's time. Because, I mean, I feel like, I really honestly feel like there's someone else for him and it's not me. Maybe there's someone else for me as well.
But why do you feel that way? You guys were like a power team. I mean, everyone thought Askia was like the Beyonce and Jay-Z in the Cameroonian music scene. Why the change of heart?
It's a thing with life, you know, when something is really not working out in all the eras. It's not only about the love and the romance. There's a lot more involved in this. And if it's just not working, it's best that two people move on with their lives so that, I mean, they can achieve more and, of course, be happy. Happiness is very important. You can't be stagnant. For someone like me, I hate being idle. I like to hustle, you know. So I just feel like the part, how I'm thinking, I think he will feel the same way. That how I'm thinking, my mindset is not where his mind is at right now. Same with me.
So you think mentally you and him are not compatible?
I feel like we're just not compatible all around. Like, yes, it's a very nice little cute image that I put out there. He's a nice person. I'm not going to say he's not nice. He's nice, but at the end of the day, it's not all that matters. A lot more.
You said it's a nice little cute image. Are you trying to say the whole 4 years you guys spent together, it was not for love, but rather for music?
I wouldn't say it was for music because we didn't do so much of music together. I mean, as a couple, as two rappers, what anyone would expect is that we are really putting music out there back to back to back to back. But at the end of the day, we are doing very little work. At least I'm doing so much work on my own as Askia solo. But as that power couple you're talking about, we're making very little impact, doing very little work. I'm just being honest now.
You mentioned every time you guys have had a breakup, he instigated it.
Yes.
Are you trying to tell me you didn't do anything wrong?
Of course, nobody's perfect. The only problem I have is my mouth. If I tell you something once, I tell you the second time. If I have to tell you the same thing the 10th time, I'm not going to be so nice about it. That's my flaw. So sometimes I'm a little harsh, I know, because I'm somebody that wants to improve. Every day of my life matters. I want to make changes, I want to make impact, I want to make money. You understand? Now I'm feeling like he's not on the same path of direction as me. You understand? That's what I'm saying. And I can't really go into the details of everything that is happening in the relationship, but it's not been pleasant. It's not all been pleasant. But of course, I'm not going to like cry out to the public every time something bad is happening in marriage. You have to keep some shit down, weigh it out, let it go sometimes, and then again it happens again and again and again. It's always like status quo. You know what that is? Yeah. So I need changes. And you know how I was before. Everybody knows how I was before. I was terrible. I was a drug addict. I was rude. I was just not doing any work as Askia, you know? And then I made all those changes. I changed in lots of ways. Nobody can tell me that as Askia I have not changed. I was rugged, you know? There's a lot of things that was wrong with me at the time. I made all those changes. And all that I really just needed is for him to make a little change as well. I'm not saying that he didn't make any change so far. I'm just saying in the areas that I needed some change to be, I didn't see no changes.
Are you trying to say he didn't support you while you were going through those changes?
He did. Yes, he did. He did support me, definitely. He did support me. And of course, every time that, let me explain something to you about being an addict. Everybody will leave you at one point. Especially when they have seen that, okay, she's always in scandal, she's always in embarrassing situations, disgraceful shit. People will leave you. Everyone left, including him. He did leave as well. But that's the part that I left out because, of course, when you're talking about your husband, you need people to know that you have a good support system. You need people to know that you have somebody that is standing by you like that, you know. But it's not every time that I say, oh, he's an angel that he was. No. Exactly like how he would talk. If you're talking to him right now, he would tell you that sometimes I'm a complete bitch. True. Everybody has flaws. You understand? But I believe that respect is reciprocal, even in marriage. You understand? You want me to be the woman, you be the man. That's it. Nobody wants to. I don't want to be the man. I'm a woman. You understand? So if you are not being the man, I'm not saying he wasn't, it's an example. I'm saying if you are not being the man, I will be forced to be in that position, not because I want to, but because I have no choice. You understand? So things are going to happen that the media is not going to know about. And for who he is a very, will I say, proud person. He has a lot of pride. A lot of pride. And sometimes he doesn't listen. And when you try to insist on the things that he doesn't like, he gets upset. Now, when you are upset, we can't have any conversation. You understand? Because I'm also making good points that I need you to pay attention to. But you are upset that I'm even bringing it up. and it gets back to disrespect. You understand? But at the end of the day, even as a woman is supposed to be there to hold the man up. From time to time, if you're going off track, I'm supposed to tell you, hey, step back in line. You understand? Because it's my job. It's not only about you being the husband. We are a family. We are raising a little child. So you have to do things taking into consideration the little baby. It's not only about you and what you need for yourself. Because I put myself out there so many times. When I was pregnant, I was everywhere walking around with the pregnancy, doing shows, going from club to club. Nobody knew I was pregnant because I didn't want them to know. But I was still out there. That's the reason why nobody could believe that I was really pregnant, because I was out there still doing the work while I was pregnant. Until the baby came, I carried this baby. The first time we stepped out together back on set, she was 2 weeks old. You understand? I was there on set, a little baby that is not even supposed to be out in the open air like that. I was breastfeeding her on set. They are doing my makeup. Pictures went everywhere. Askia has taken the baby to the set, breastfeeding the baby, and they are putting makeup on the baby, you know. All of that was happening. It's not like the father wasn't available. He was. He was available. But the kind of relationship that I want to have, I'm not afraid to say it, is the kind where both couples, like both parties, are very supportive, standing by each other in all eras. Meaning, if I have a job that I have to do, it's our child. If you're sitting here doing nothing, take care of the baby. Nobody else will do it better than you. There's no nanny out there that will take care of this baby better than me and you, because it's your child and you want to do everything to make the baby okay. You know? But that's also a problem, because, I mean, it's a woman's job to take care of the baby, as he has always told me.
I disagree.
Thank you.
But let's just give me a minute, right?
Yes.
I read an article on Beyond the Block, right, which I believe is owned by your friend.
Who?
The chef. I don't know what's his name.
Oh,
Chef
I'm working
Dawi?
with Chef Dawi.
So let me just read you some of the points they made on that blog.
Chef Dawi posted that.
Yes, I believe he did. Well, I
Okay.
believe some people he worked for posted that.
Oh, let
He
me.
says that at the time, she was suffering from drug addiction, inferiority complex, which resulted to skin bleaching, depression, amongst others. And it was thanks to the man she was dating then, Rain Killer, that she was able to find her feet again and stand her grounds. Rain Killer became her close to her only true friend.
Okay, hold up. Let me just say something right there. First of all, it's my truth. Okay? And I'm happy that he was with me when everyone else had left. But he eventually left as well. You understand? It's the truth. I'm not hiding anything. It's the truth. Okay, this that he thinks he knows is what the image I put out there. I'm always like, oh, my husband is always there, you know? It's just to let people know that, okay, I have someone. But the truth of all of this is that when I met Killer, okay, I met him when I was just healing, trying to quit smoking and struggling with the addiction, but fighting it as well. Like, I quit the drugs for a little bit, and then I met him that time. I'd quit. Like, I'd been like a month or two or more without being on drugs at all. And then I met him, and this first day I met him, I just came to the house and I never left. Like, we stayed together in their house and then eventually moved out and got our own place. He's always been there. And then he left eventually because he discovered that I relapsed. Of course, when you're fighting with drug addiction, it's not easy. It's very difficult. I know that because I went through every stage of it by myself. I didn't have no rehabilitation, no treatment, no whatsoever. It was just me, my energy, and talking to God that helped me overcome it. So when I relapsed, he got upset. It was embarrassing. He left, you know. I was staying at their house and he literally told his mom, it's the fact, I'm not going to hide it because I need other people to learn from this story. So I'm not going to beat around the bush or pretend. He told his mom, if I'm staying there in the house, he left, and then he told his mom, if I'm still in the house, he's not going to come back until I am gone. So his mom eventually sent me out. You understand? I left. My sister came, looked for me. I went out. I think I stayed in a hotel I had some money. I was still hustling. That's the nice thing about me. Drugs, no drugs. Sick, no sick. I'm always out there trying to get my money, at least to keep me going, even if it's from hand to mouth. So I was staying at a hotel because I was when you're on drugs, a lot of things are running through your mind. Bad things constantly happen to you. It's always one pain to another. So I kept myself in isolation, and I was still smoking at that time because it was even bad for me that he left. So then it was just worse. I even tried killing myself that time. You know?
Wow.
Yes.
That's very.
I did.
That's something very.
I did
very
try
good.
to kill myself that time.
Is that when you were going through depression?
Yes, I was depressed. I was depressed this time because he left as well. So it really broke me. My sister was walking all over the streets looking for me. And normally when you're an addict, you don't want people that can stop you from smoking around you. So I avoided my sister. She called again and said, okay, I'll meet you somewhere, but not where I am. Go somewhere, tell me, I'll meet you there. I came, I met her there. She cried, I ate food, you know, and then I left and went back home. So I went one day to get my things from Killer's mom's place. The rest of my things, and I saw that he had come back home. You know, he had said that until I leave, then he will come. He was home. I came back to get my things. He left the house and went back waiting for me to leave. So I packed the rest of my things. It was really a lot of shame. I won't lie to you. It was a lot of shame. A lot. Like if I had to tell people at that time that, oh, this is what, we will not even be back together. Because he left me. He told my sister that he could never ever be with me, you know. And to me, it was a motivation. I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, okay, this is not how it's going to end for me. Never, you know? And then I started putting my shit back together. At that time, I had somebody working with me that was in my ears. Ayompe NS was acting as my manager at the time. He really did help me. Because that night when I was trying to kill myself, my sister was trying to call, I didn't pick her phone call. And then he didn't try to call me. He kept sending messages and telling me, okay, Askia, this is what people are saying about you. Are you going to let this happen? It was everywhere on social media. I'm a drug addict. He was ashamed of me, of course. So I tried calling him again and he said, don't ever call my phone. It's over. Don't ever blah, blah, blah. You know, he left, went back to Boya. He was living with one of his friends, you know, and I went back to my sister's house. I eventually called her to come get me because I made up my mind after I spoke to my manager that, okay, this is not the way. I didn't kill myself. He talked me out of it. So the very next morning, I called my sister. I said, this is where I am. I sent her my location. Come and get me. And she came with a car. She got me. We went to Boya. Stayed in the house. I would call him. He blocked me everywhere, everywhere. I would call him. He wouldn't pick. I would call him. He wouldn't pick. And then I discovered where he was. I went looking for him. I want to tell you how I struggled. Killer and I were not supposed to be together. The only reason why we were even still together up till now is because of me. Because if I was just not pushful, we will never be together, you know? Because I went looking for him and then there was one of his friends that I was even suspecting that had something to do with him, but no, they didn't have nothing. So she called me and I asked, do you know where Killer is? She said, yes, but don't tell him I told you where he is. Then she gave me the description. I knew where the house was. I didn't know exactly the house, but I knew the street. So I kept going there. I kept going there every day to see if I could see him coming out of the house. Then this particular day, he had to go out to meet the girl. And the girl told me, he's about to come out now. Just go there. You'll definitely see him coming out. So I went there and then I met him. He saw me. He tried to walk away. He was walking away, basically. And I was walking behind him, trying to talk to him, like, please listen to me. You know, I'm sorry. I'm trying to work on myself, blah, blah, you know, and all of that. He didn't listen. He left. The next day, I made breakfast. I brought it over to where he was. He ate. The next day, I made food again. I brought it to where he was. He ate because I knew he was alone. And it's always been a thing for me to care for him. So I always want to make sure he is eating, even though all of that. So he became like, okay, comfortable with it again. And then eventually we started dating back again. You understand?
But if you claim he was not really there for you or supporting you or made you to almost kill yourself.
He didn't make me almost kill myself.
Well,
I was
he
depressed.
said he left you because he left you. It took you to another dimension in such a way that you felt worthless, right?
Yes, I'm not going to put the blame on him for that. A lot of different things were running through my head. My life was a mess. I was struggling with this addiction that nobody can really help me. I didn't know what exactly I had to do. So him leaving me at that time really broke me as well. I'm not saying it's entirely his fault. I'm just saying it was too much for me that he left as well. You understand? So
do you think maybe it was also too much for him, the way you were behaving?
Yes.
And the fact that you were taking drugs again?
Yes.
After all the hard work that you guys are putting together?
Yes. I think it was too much. That's the reason why I've never blamed anyone for any of the misfortunes that came my way, you know. I wouldn't blame him. I told him, I said, you know what, you don't owe nobody to stay when it's a drug addict that is involved. You don't owe nobody your complete loyalty. You have a right to walk out. People that will stay are the ones that are ride or die. It's people that will die for you. They are the ones that will stay. If you feel like, okay, at this point she's staining my image and dirtying it up, you can leave. I don't blame nobody. I don't blame Alpha Beta for leaving me. I mean, I was a mess. Not everybody can take it, you know. But for me, I wouldn't say that he was. I wouldn't say, like I keep telling people that me quitting drugs was not thanks to Killer. You understand? Me quitting the drugs was not thanks to him.
But he gave you an incentive to do that, right?
Yes.
Is it insensitive or incentive?
Incentive,
right? To do that, right? You were doing it not just for yourself, but because of your partner at that time.
Yeah, but it was a big risk.
It gave you more motivation.
It was a big
motivated
risk.
you to.
Yes. You know why I say it's a big risk? Because he knew that I was suffering with addiction before he came to me. So if you're riding for someone and you really want to help them, it's what I would do. I'm not saying he's supposed to do that. If you're riding for someone and you really want to help them at that point where you see that they are really struggling to do better and it's not working, it's not easy to quit smoking drugs or whatever. It's not easy at all. You don't leave at that time, especially when you know that you're the last someone has. You don't leave. It's wrong.
Let's talk a
it's
little
not
bit
that
more.
it's wrong, it's just not right.
Let's talk a bit more about the Alpha Beta. You mentioned they left you as well while you were going through your drug addiction.
Yes.
I remember the first time I discovered you were with Alpha Beta Records. I mean, you were fire. I'm not saying you're not fire now, but then it's like you had structure.
Come. Okay.
Do you think if you stayed with them, you would have been better off than you are now?
No. I don't think so.
There were some allegations made online about you while you were Alpha Beta Records.
Tell me.
Saying you are going to places, taking clothes on people's name, you're smoking drugs, like you're taking shit under the company's name and not paying. Was all those allegations true?
No, lies. I never ever took anything of the company's name. Never. Yes, I was smoking. It was embarrassing. I was asking people for money. You know how addicts do. That's how they do. That's it.
Totally.
But I never ever went anywhere to take nothing on Alpha Beta's bill. Never. That's a fat lie. Yeah.
Is there anything you would want to tell me why did you start taking drugs in the first place?
There's no particular reason, you know. When I just got signed to Alpha Beta, everything opened up for me. The fame came in the most effective way ever. I was Askia. Everyone was talking about me. I had an Instagram account that was popping, you know, before it was hacked. So everything was about Askia, you know. And then I had some money. I had a little small car that I was driving, you know. And then, if you even know the way I started, sorry, there's one small guy, right, that is always like my diehard fan on Facebook. He's always like, oh, Remy, riding for me and shit. So we started talking because he's always there for me. And then, sometimes when I'm bored, I would drive down to Moliko and go have a smoke at his place. We'll share a blunt of weed, you know, and then we'll smoke, and then we'll play some music, and then I'll go back home. Sometimes, I didn't have much friends. And my sister is not the kind of person I can chill with like that. So sometimes when I want to smoke a joint, I will drive down to his place and just chill there. He will play new songs, play some upcoming artist songs, and I will listen, you know. Then we'll just talk about music, and I'll go back home. He's somebody that is really younger than me. So I really liked hanging out with him because he was really cool, you know. So there was one time that I came in the evening, I just called, I said, yeah, what's up? I'm bored, I'm coming over, let's have a smoke. He said, okay, I'm home. And then I came in there, I met him hanging with some friends, and there was just stuff on the table that they had placed. I think they were having fun smoking their shit and whatever.
What kind of stuff?
Crack, to be precise. And at that time, I didn't know it was crack. I didn't know what it was or anything. So they were just having fun and chilling. Everybody was taking some. I saw them doing it, how they were doing it. And so somebody just gave me that shit and I tried it. That's it. Without thinking. without asking questions. That's the reason why I always tell people, don't go somewhere and see people doing stuff you don't know nothing about and you want to try. Because some things, when you just try them once, you're hooked. That was it for me. I tried it. It really felt really nice. I'm like, okay, most of the things that will kill you in this world taste so good, you know? So I'm like, okay, what's this thing? I left and went back home. The next day, I'm looking for it again. So I called him. I said, what was that thing that we had? He said, oh, let me arrange it for you now. Now the price is so. I started buying it now, you know? And that's just it. It's not like it was any extra thing to it. It's just me trying something that I know nothing about, that I got stuck with, not because I wanted to.
So you're a crack addict?
Yes, I was. I'm not ashamed to say yes, because I'm not right now. So, yeah.
It took a lot of hard work. I know I've seen
Suffering.
it firsthand what crack does to people.
Yes.
And for the fact that you took crack and you've gone through all this process all by yourself, it shows that you're a very strong woman.
Yes.
Is there any advice you give these kids or these up-and-coming artists
Yes.
nowadays that feel like drugs is the way?
Well, I would say that it's not the way. It's just a little means of making you feel better. It doesn't really help you feel better. It's just a little pleasure that don't last even like 5 seconds, you know? And that's the reason why you get addicted easily, because when you try it, it feels good, it's gone. You need to feel it again, you try it again, and it's gone. It's really that brief, you know? So you want to feel it back to back, so you try it again and again and again before you know you're hooked. I would just say, don't try stuff you don't know anything about. Like, there's no law in the world that says that you need to be on something to make good music. For what it's worth, I've never in my life performed on stage when I'm high on weed. You know, that's the only thing that...
There's a lot of people that will contradict that.
Yes, but I'm saying for me, I prefer to perform for my fans, for the public, when I'm sober and sane. I don't like to be influenced by anything when I'm making my music. Maybe when I'm in the studio and we're having fun, of course, weed is always good, you know. But it is not the weed. It's not the weed that helps you bring out the music. It's not. You know, the crack, all these pills that they are popping now and all of this shit don't help you feel better. It don't help you make no good music. It's just you hiding your insecurities and feeling like, okay, you have something to lean back on that is going to destroy you eventually without you seeing it coming. That's it. Sometimes you are gone so deep before you even know what's happening to you. You are dying, you know. So I would just tell them to just stick with life. Life is good, you know. Stick with life, because all these things, popping the pills, sometimes you take it too much, you know, and eventually it's going to get you to a bad place. It always does.
So, for you,
yes,
do you regret taking drugs?
No, I don't regret that. And that's because I feel like now I feel like I had to go through that to be able to do something with my experience to help others. That's what I feel. I mean, I know a lot of people, strong big men who have died, that were doing this after me, you know, that are dead now. So I don't see any reason why I'm out of it, actually. I feel like maybe I needed to be in that situation to understand how it works better so that I can be able to help people out there. And that's what I'm doing now. So no, I don't regret it. I feel like it's just a step that I needed to pass through to be able to do the things that I need to do in my life in this world. So yeah.
Let's go back to your relationship with Kayla. Do you think, I mean, you guys have a beautiful daughter, Nairobi, together. Do you think maybe at some point you and him might reconcile for the good of your daughter?
No. Don't think so. I don't think so. Come on.
No? No chance at all?
No.
Not if it changes?
No. No. I'm done with that chapter.
Yeah?
Yes.
I see you making some slight comments online towards him. And I'm also aware of the comments he made, which you feel like he was doing it towards you. And you responded. Do you think there's bad blood between you and him?
Yes, there's bad blood. Of course, there is bad blood between us.
Is it because he left you or because you left him?
No. He knows why there's bad blood between us. I'm
you
not
can't
going
tell
to.
us?
No, I can't. But he knows. What's important is that he knows. He will always remember. But no, I'm not going to tell you. The reason why I'm not going to tell you is because I'm not out to cause him pain. I don't hate him. For what is my child's father. I want him to do good in the future. I want him to prosper. I want him to be so many great things. You understand? So if there's one thing that I'm going to say that will really like not make him look so great, I will not say it. That's the reason why I regret so much my outburst yesterday on the internet. I really regret it. But he knows my temperaments are high, you know. And we've been broken up for damn near 1 month now. Nobody has heard anything about it. I've not talked about it. I'm living my life. I didn't even have to go on and tell people that we are not together. Until he came and said it's time for people to know that we are no longer together because I need to move on with my life, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. It's not like I'm holding on to it because I don't want him to know we are not together. I didn't think it was necessary to let them know we are not together. But if you feel like it's something that you want the world to know, sure, because I mean it. It's not one of those things that we used to do where it's over and then I'll come, please, why should it be over? Please, give me another chance, and then you come back. No.
I see that you've been doing a lot of work in the background. I mean, the last 2 months, you've dropped maybe about 3 or 4 songs. I think one of them, Missed Your Call.
Your missed calls.
Your missed call, which you spoke a lot of things from the heart. Do you just mind telling us a bit more about how you were feeling at that time when you wrote that song?
Okay.
Was it your own way of telling people you're sorry?
Yes, in a way, but I'm really sorry for so many things. Let me give you an insight on the missed calls, you know. When I was an addict, right? That's the reason why I titled the song Your Missed Calls. When I was an addict, all I had time for was that smoke, you know. I never had time for nobody, for nothing. Even the people that needed to get me to do stuff, I never had time for nobody. Like, I'm always busy killing myself, always doing that shit. Sometimes my phone will ring and ring and ring, and I won't touch it for 2 days. You understand? That's the reason why I named the song Your Missed Call, because it's also a song that talks about a friend I'd lost, you know. I lost a friend, and I didn't get to say goodbye. You understand?
Is it because you were high on drugs?
Yes, exactly why. So you see how deep the song is to me. I feel like I made so many mistakes with just this little thing that came into my life, you know, in a way that most of the people that I need to say sorry to are not even anywhere around me anymore, you know. So the best way for me to say sorry is to put out music that they will eventually listen to, even without me being in their face. So that's what I did.
Your latest song, which I love so much, and a lot of people agree, I think you got over 11,000 views in the first 6 days.
Yes.
Do you want to tell me more, the inspiration behind that song?
Blessings. Yes. Actually, when I was making that song, Blessing, I was really just thanking God for my family, my husband, my child, the place where we have come so far. Yeah. So I didn't know that by now this is where we will be at. But that time I was in a very good place with my family, my husband, you know. So we were like, okay, let's do a thank you song. What do we name it? Fribble Amase's Blessing. He actually come up with a hook. It makes a lot of sense, and then just opens our brains as to what we are talking about. That's how we made the song.
Freeboy Ulama seemed like one of the stars on the Beard Gang label.
Yes.
Do you see yourself, you, Killer, and Freeboy working on future projects together?
No. No.
Even just for the music?
No. I don't think Freeboy will want to do that.
Do you mind telling me why?
Again, no, I can't tell you why. I don't think Freeboy is going to want to do that ever. At least for now, that's where his mind is. And maybe in the future, he will like see things differently and change his mind, you know. But for right now, I'm not sure. But of course, me, I will definitely work with Freeboy. We have songs. We have so many songs we have to start shooting videos for. So yes, I am going to work with Freeboy, you know. And I don't have any grudges. I could do a song with Killer. We have a song, a nice little love song together that we were supposed to shoot the video for this period. But the reason why we are not going to shoot the video for the song anymore is because now I feel like everything I said in the song are all lies, you know. Now I feel like so much has changed. in a way that I can't see myself saying those words to him anymore. So if we're ever going to do the video, it's going to be in another era where we are both done with this and co-parenting this baby in the best way possible, and then maybe we can shoot the video for the fans. But it's not going to be that deep anymore because those words I use right now, they have no meaning.
You mentioned what you guys recorded on that song is all lies. Are you trying to say that at that time in your relationship, everything you wrote was a lie?
No.
So why do you feel like now is a lie?
It's a lie now because it's no longer true.
But it happened when you guys were in love.
Definitely, yes.
So it's not a lie.
It depends on how you look at it. I really don't wish to speak too much because with the way you're going, I might fuck around and say some things I don't want to say. So
on the part where Askia, she's the ex-drug addict, do you think with your experience and where you are now in your life, you're going to do something to help?
Yeah, of course.
Now,
I already started.
Apparently in Cameroon right now, there's a lot of drugs problem among
very
youths.
much. I already started my work. I know that I don't have like an office or a rehabilitation base, but I have myself, and so I'm still doing the work because I've already had a few patients. Like right now, I have a difficult case. You heard me on the phone earlier talking to some woman about how they need to go and find her son, you know. This woman, she came all the way from Yaoundé, came in to find me because she follows me on Facebook and she believes that I can help her child. So she came in and found me, and now we have to find the guy, the said guy, you know. So I'm already doing the work. I meet these people. I told you guys before that I've had 2 patients, you know. I've had 2 patients and they are both doing fine. Like, I did my best. All I do is sit down with you, make sure you eat food always. I always tell the family they need to be under restriction because you can't have them going out every time they like. We don't have rehabilitation, but you can keep your child at home and make sure that they are not going outside to buy whatever they need. If you want to help them, you have to work with me because I can't do it alone, you know. So I can come from time to time, talk to you, really talk to you. Like what I do is I share my experience with you. I tell you some of the things that I have done, places I've been to, and usually they are like, they don't believe it because, I mean, look at me now, you know. So I just go ahead and tell them all that I've been through, all those really nasty things that they are afraid to share. They start telling me theirs back. And some of them even see that, okay, their stories are even not as dirty as mine.
Can you tell us some of the nastiest places you've been or the things that you've done while on drugs?
The nice thing about me when I was being on drugs is that I don't smoke in the test. I never, ever. For what it's worth, I always buy in bulk. And that's the reason why I ran broke, because I used all of my money. I'm not ashamed of it. I told you that I feel like I needed to experience this so I can be able to do something about it now for my country. So I used to go down and find the stuff and buy it. Sometimes I have the plugs on phone. They will bring it to me wherever I am. But I've never been out there smoking in the streets like these kids do. Always, I'll lock up myself in the house by myself, and then I will smoke my ass off until it's done. And then I will make a phone call again for another refill. And I will go back to back to back. I've stayed up 1 week straight without falling asleep. You understand?
What's the most you spend on drugs in a day?
One day, 250,000 francs.
Damn.
Yeah.
That bad?
Bad. Really disgracefully bad. I know. But again, like I told you, I don't feel ashamed because I feel like I needed to go through these things to be able to help people in my country, like I told you.
You mentioned helping people. Do you see yourself, I mean, you mentioned a rehabilitation center before.
Yes.
Do you see yourself opening a rehabilitation center to help this?
Yes. I see myself doing that. I would have, if I had some money, if I had enough money and finance, right now I'll have an office. The first thing I really just want to do is to have an office where I can talk to patients every day, you know. Sometimes just having a conversation helps change people's minds, you know.
So you want to be more like a consultant?
Yes, I'm going to be a consultant. I'm already a consultant now. But then I am going to, in the future, have a facility that is for keeping patients. I don't care how small it is or how unreached it is. I just want to be able to open my doors for some people that are willing to change, to come inside. And if you come in, you're not going out until I feel like, okay, I can trust you now to go outside. So if you come in, you are definitely giving yourself to me as a prisoner, because you will not go out. I will have bouncers. You know what I'm talking about. I don't have nurses or I don't have doctors, but I'm going to have security that is going to keep you in there and make sure you don't smoke nothing. All I'm going to do is make sure that you're eating healthy food, fruits, and then I have some doctors that I'm talking to also that know what they can administer for when the throwback starts, because when you're trying to quit from the drugs, the pain is even times 2 of when you're doing it and even starving from it. So there's also a medical help that I will need from somebody like a doctor that knows exactly what can be done to calm you down, because when you start having those feelings, you just want to go back to the drug. Usually when you're having all of these withdrawal symptoms, it's very, very difficult for you to live as a person. You want to pull your heart out, you just want to smoke so bad. That's where the doctors come in, because they have to administer something that calms you down. And then I'm also looking to go to Yaoundé and see a doctor that works in a hospital where they can flush out your system, so that if I keep you for 2 weeks and I say I'm talking to you and you're doing well, I can take you now to go see a doctor from time to time, and then we come back there just eating, relaxing, watching TV, talking to you all the time. I feel like it works, because I mean, it worked very well for my 2 patients.
So
Yeah.
do you agree with CY International that we have a big drug problem in Cameroon?
Yes, we do. We do. Here, Limbe, this is the base of it all. Limbe. Mad crazy, you don't know.
Care to elaborate?
I'm saying that Limbe is the biggest place where drugs is circulating, because this is where it comes in. It comes in here to Limbe first, and then it will go to Douala, go to Yaoundé, all of these places from here. So most of the kids that are in these streets that are out there smoking this shit, they are really in trouble, because you are still living here. Every time that you feel like you need something, you find them stealing, because of course if you don't have money, you have to do everything you can to get that money so that you can be able to smoke. That's the reason why this town Limbe, I feel like I have so much work to do here, and I don't even know when I'm going to start, because again, the finances. But something needs to be done about Limbe. Yes.
Thank you very much for that enlightenment. Let's talk about your music career. What has Askia got for the future? What can we expect from you going forward?
I'm trying to do a few collaborations internationally, you know, even if it's just in Africa. I want to get out there more, to mingle with other cultures, different rappers from different countries, you know. So I'm not really big on getting a record label myself, but eventually if nobody that has the right source comes to me, I will definitely have to take it up, starting a record label by myself and progressing from it one step at a time.
So I was watching on YouTube, and you had is it a series or is it a show called The Bag?
Yeah.
Which you feature different artists. I kind of like that. Do you mind just explaining to me what that is about?
It's a series. The first season, I had female rappers, upcoming female rappers that nobody ever heard before come out, and I brought the female artists to collab with them. So we put it out episode after episode, and then have them feature each other, and then the back rap series, we're looking for the next big female rapper. So it was okay. This season we are doing it a little bit differently for season 2. Right now I have been working towards it to make sure everything goes smoothly, and how we are doing it this time is different, because last time we had so much trouble with the ladies. You know that ladies are a bit difficult to work with. So this time I'm still discovering female rappers that are underground, like young. The youngest is 15 years old and she's amazing. I will let you listen to her stuff today when we're done. So now, because I don't want to go through that stress, women are so complicated, I'm using men. So I'm going to pick one upcoming rapper that you don't know, introduce her to the public.
You mind telling us his name?
Who?
The artist's name?
There are so many of them. Which one do I tell you?
The ones you're gonna use for the series now.
Yes, we have Killer. We had at least Killer, Freeboy Lamar, there's King B, Crispy, Mike Monster, a couple of other people. Salatel is also in. He gave his concert. He wants to rap. So I'm having the male superstars that you know hold the hands of these female rappers that I'm discovering. So I'm going to have the young rappers now feature with the male rappers that they know, episode after episode. So this time we're doing it in a way that every artist gets 1 week of TV time. You're going to have a song alone to introduce yourself, and then you're going to have a freestyle on Boko Bass live. You know, it could be a whole song, only you will drop it live. Then you're going to have a featuring with me, Askia, and then you will have a featuring with another male superstar. And then at the end of the week, we put it together for an EP for you, and then we put it in the market, and then whatever comes from it goes to you. That's the plan. So every artist that I'm discovering is going to have 1 week of media time, and then at the end of the week, put your EP in the market of all the things that you've been dropping, so people can support you, not because wanting to buy the songs before they listen, just a way of encouraging you and supporting the whole movement, so that, okay, we don't feel like we are doing nothing. I don't have money to pay these people, you know. As much as I'm exposing their talents to the world, I also need them to make something out of it, so they know, okay, it's not all about just the flex and the grind. It's also about making that money, so that when you proceed with your career in the future, you know that what's important first is making that money. That's why I'm starting with this step. So that's how it's going to be. We have already 8 young female rappers that you've never heard before that we're working with now, and we're ready to start. Just giving it time.
You think you're mentally strong to manage people and yourself?
I don't know if I am. All I know is I'm ready to try. Yes.
Thank you very much, Askia, for giving us this interview. I really appreciate your honesty. How do we begin, sister?
Are you done asking me all those questions?
I want to.
When we make them big, man, I don't got time, no day for sleep. Remember how we man be day, the same from Boko. Nothing no be day, man, no be